What up, family? Welcome back to the channel. Her, not on point. Just want to say welcome back to all 41,000 of my families. That's you, all the subscribers. So make sure to subscribe. We'll start off with the exciting news. Yes, you heard it here first. YouTube did buy me an ECU. Well, not technically buy me an ECU. What they did was they gave me the revenue from the ads on the channel, and I took it and I bought an ECU. Kind of the same thing, right? So before we get into doing what we're doing with the car, I just want to talk about this for a quick second and why I did it. So we did end up going with a Holley HP ECU, and then we got the NTK sensor so we can run like leaded fuels, and that's about it actually. That's all you get. Now here's why I did it over the MS3 Gold Box or the factory ECU. I'm gonna take this board right here and I'm gonna show you the differences between the three in my perspective and why I did it. We'll just do that really quickly and then you guys can debate your opinion in the comments and be like, yo, you dumbass, sloppy mechanics is the best. And I would have to agree. Now obviously I had to plug my own Instagram name. It's right there, super_Williams. But we're gonna divide this into three categories. Little, medium, big for penis size, but just kidding. So, doop, doop. We got it? Okay, so obviously we're gonna start with the price point for all of them. This one is roughly $1,200 US. This one is pretty much free because someone sent me an ECU. So free. And then this one, I only have the Canadian price. So this is the price I paid for it. So we'll convert this to Canadians. I did buy it. They didn't get back to me on the email because I guess I'm not important enough for Holley to be like, hey, we like you. So one day when I am big enough and Holley's like, hey, I'd be like, no thanks. $1,200 US to Canadian. 1,600 bucks. Now if we're looking at this strictly from a price point perspective, I would be really stupid not to stick with the stock ECU. However, we have to go over like the extra cost of what it would cost to run this stuff. So the stock ECU, I can use that harness. It is bullshit and it's a lot of extra work. However, if I wanted to get another harness for the stock ECU, it's gonna be like $500 or $600 Canadian, so $600 Canadian. And then you have to buy a wideband as well, which is like $250 Canadian for the wideband. Now, the same cost comes over here, and the MS3 also gets an extra $250. The Holley already comes with a wideband, so now our price point is $1,850 versus $2,550, and then this one is $850 versus, yeah. Now the reason that I'm making this video is because I have a really rare opportunity if I go with Holley HP. I have one of the best, if not the best, tuner on the West Coast, Neil Richards from Horsepower Solutions.
Obviously everybody from Team North, a bunch of parts.
The owner of the Cream Dream 1 and 2, which can be seen probably, I'll put a clip up right here.
Bench seat, Alpine tape deck, party missile.
He lives in Edmonton, Alberta. People literally have him come to the track to tune their cars because of his well-known reputation for making cars go fast. His car is mainly an X275 car, really heavy, lots of rule sets in X275, but it goes like 4.46 or something in the 8th mile at 160 something, which is actually crazy for, yeah, anyways, getting past that. So the tune for this is free. He said he will tune it for free. Which is huge. That's like an opportunity that you don't want to pass up. And then he said if I go with the MS3 box, he said, fuck that garbage. We're not going to tune that garbage for free because I don't even want to touch it. An extra tune from another shop, let's just say AFR Auto Works or something, is between $600 to $1,000 depending on, I don't know why I put two money signs there. We're all about the money today. Depending on how long it takes on the dyno. Usually dynos don't charge a flat rate, they'll charge hourly just because that's you're running into issues on the dyno, it's your own fault. And then same thing can be brought over here, 600 to 1,000. It's probably a lot cheaper online for a stock ECU because you don't have any tunability. Money-wise, we're now at $25.50 here, $24.50 to $28.50, $14.50 to $18.50. So you can see where I kind of came up with my option of which ECU I wanted to get. So beyond that, I think the MS3 actually has a little bit more input-output in the ECU itself. The Holley has 4 outputs, which should be plenty for our little street car here. And then the NTK sensor is actually really expensive, so you can get a cheaper kit than this one. It just comes with a Bosch sensor instead. I think it's roughly $200 cheaper than that. The stock ECU, for your budget car, it'll work fine. And it'll definitely work fine if you have a harness that isn't shit. The only restriction with this is like, you have to start adding things for more things that you want. So if you want electronic boost control, you're gonna have to add in like a boost box of some sort. You have to add in like a bump box of some sort. You have no option to use like a digital dash. For your basic street car, the stock ECU is gonna work fine. For your basic street car, the MS3 is gonna work fine also. You're just gonna have to pay for that tune that I don't wanna pay $600 to $1,000 for. Like sloppy mechanics would probably recommend this to me all day anyways, so sorry Matt. But we're going with the Holley HP and that's kind of it. It's already ordered, it'll be on the way, so we can rip the stock ECU out. The only thing left now that we really need to purchase is a torque converter, which I keep procrastinating because I'm really sad that we lost the last one. Anyways, long story short, oh my God, the lens is so dirty. That wasn't the, don't worry, that wasn't the lens, that was just like the filter on the lens because I beat them up a lot and shoot sparks at them all the time. Long story short, I took my YouTube ad revenue, which was 100% you guys. If it wasn't for you guys watching the videos, I would not have any of this money at all. And what I did was I reinvested it back in the channel. So we went a little bit over on the budget because we're getting a really nice ECU, but if we ever turn this piece of junk like into something else, want to progress the build, we'll never be ECU limited. So I think it was a smart investment for us and for the channel, and I really appreciate everyone who's subscribed to the channel and everyone who sticks around and watches the channel, because if it wasn't for you guys, we would not be in this opportunity right now. I do not make a fortune from these YouTube videos, make less on the YouTube videos than I spend in the car, so the channel is not viable for me to like not work a full-time job, if that's what you guys are thinking, but like I really appreciate it. So let's get into building this. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull down the trans mount. We're going to, you know what, I'm just gonna show you. I'm gonna pull down the trans mount, I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do. So this is all our tranny stuff. Are you allowed to say that on the internet now? So what happened was this is the cross member for the transmission that we modified last time. Kind of shit, but whatever. This sat bolted to the transmission, it just sat on top of here. What we're gonna do is we're going to, nothing wants to stay where I put it. We're gonna replicate this piece of metal on this piece of metal. So we're just gonna cut a piece and drill holes in it, essentially. And then we're actually gonna weld a solid one. We're gonna weld this, not this, we're gonna weld the one we cut out of this solidly to this. And my reason is because this is for the Supra. I don't wanna mess with this or this piece because this makes it fit in the Supra perfectly. Yeah, I don't wanna ruin any of this stuff, because if the transmission comes back out to go in the Supra, we don't wanna mess with this. Let's cut a piece. Man, today is not going good. Let's cut a piece of metal. I never expected to use this chop saw as much as I have since I bought it, but. Well, that's kind of sad. What happened was I broke my last blade, and then we had another blade in the shop, but the blade is like super thick and it's never gonna cut through this. So I'm gonna have to cut it with a grinder, I think. My floor mounted vise, that's not mounted to anything. You guys are getting so mad at me for not mounting my vise too. So we're gonna take our Sharpie. This isn't the exact width of this plate, but it's thicker, so thicker is always better than longer. So the girls tell me. Easy template. Now I did lose my center punch, and I don't know where it went. I'm not looking at the camera because it's super epic, and it's just for the epic shots. Do it for the gram. So we're just gonna have to wing it, I guess, like the rest of my life. We also have to find out where the drill bits went. Hello, drill bits! We are pretty close to the center there. Do 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 do. My elbows getting sore, getting old. Buying such thick metal doesn't seem like such a great idea anymore. I was about to show you the greatest invention ever invented for someone who wants to drill a hole and then make a little bit bigger hole and then a little bit bigger hole and then a little bit of bigger hole. It's a step drill bit. I had one. I had it. I don't know where to put it. The problem is, in my life, everything's a little bit too small. Everything. Everything is a little bit too small. Just like my toolbox here. And because I have lack of size and toolbox, I don't have enough organizational space or skills, but I can't blame the skills on the space. So now I lost my step drill bit, which would have made life so much easier right now. So I'm gonna spend 2 minutes trying to find it. 2 minutes, and then I'm probably just gonna use a lawnmower to make those holes. So we're gonna have to step it up old school style, like just keep going a little bit bigger. However, I put it somewhere where I knew I would remember, and now I don't remember. Stupid ass. You guys have managed to give me enough shit that I've learned a little bit, so I use WD-40 now as like a cutting, lubricating thing, which I probably shouldn't, I don't know. And then I use slow speeds too. So take that. I learned something from the internet once. Oh hey, look what I found. Yep, that's a step drill bit. Stupid ass. The cool thing about a step drill bit though is like it has a hex and so it doesn't slip on the drill. Imagine that. Oh yeah. Now we're getting, there's so much bananas in this one. Look at that. Matter of seconds. We just made, look at it. I can almost finger this one and that one's tiny. Just gotta do the same thing over here now. Now because this one is slotted and this one is holed, I'm fully anticipating this not working. Well, without making some slots in it. So I'm gonna go test fit it, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, then we're gonna have to get the Dremel out. They're like a 1/4 inch too far in. If I was smart, I would have used my mock-up transmission to see exactly where the holes went. And I have a feeling like this mount is universal for a couple different engines, so yeah, we need to extend the holes outwards a little bit. I'll find a way to do that. I'll be right back. Instead of trying to mess around for like 2 hours trying to Dremel out new holes, I'm just gonna cut a new piece and drill a couple new holes. It'll only take me like 5 minutes, so that's what I'm gonna do. And I'm gonna use this super accurate measurement tool to get the proper hole distance. Here's our new plate cleaned off, ready to be welded. Our other plate's cleaned off, ready to be welded. We're gonna go bolt both of these up, and then we're going to somehow make a bracket to go up. We're gonna tack weld it in, and then we'll build the rest on my floor bench. So, for those of you who like the visuals, which everyone does, it's just hard to get filmed down here. Let me get this light. So you can see that gap that we have to fill with a piece of plate. So we'll put our piece of plate on there, and then we'll box that in, and that'll be our mount. Just rolling the welder over, we'll get us tacked up, and then I'll pull it out of the car and I'll show you what we got. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. That was my little rock out phase. Okay, so here's our mount. You can see this is the plate we first made. This is the new addition that we made on top, and that replaces this piece right here. So the dimensions of this should match the dimensions of this. we're gonna weld up what we put on here. We're gonna box stand a little bit, and then we'll probably end up bracing this part right here as well to the bottom. So I'm gonna finish welding what we have on here, build a couple extra brackets, and then we'll be ready. My welds are absolutely shit because this welder just doesn't have enough power to weld it. So yeah, they're kind of garbage. They're like bird turds. Nothing a grinder can't fix. However, I did cut these things to fit like this. Hold on. So I got one for each side. They're gonna fit like this on the side here. So I can weld the back side here and then the two sides there. I'm gonna do that, and then I'll re-show you. Maybe I'll take a Dremel to it so it doesn't look so ugly. Maybe I'll take a Dremel to my face so it doesn't look so ugly. Yay! Flip the breaker again. While we let the breaker cool down a little bit, because I popped it, it's 4:42. I leave for work at 6:30. I've been out here for 2 hours now, so I'm gonna keep going. I have 0 lunch made for work, so I'll probably end up eating granola bars. But I gotta work 3 more night shifts, so that's why I'm out here right now. So what happens is I work 3 day shifts, 3 night shifts, then I have 6 days off. So right now it's a transition between days and nights, which means I should be like food prepping for my next 3 nights. But I'm out here performing some gross art because my welds are shit. So the welder says the most we can really do is 3/16. And then this is a 1/4 that we have here, but so multi-passes are required. I did, however, put some big bevels in this stuff, but because I built it so beefy, I'm hoping that like we could just run it. So obviously our welder isn't really strong enough for this. My garage only wired up for 110, and we keep popping the breaker, so it's on the maximum setting right now. But it just keeps like bubbling up the weld instead of actually penetrating the metal. So that's what I get for buying such thick metal, I guess. But I didn't want it to break. But I think it should hold. I think we got it. Yup, looks like a bunch of turds to me. This one was really bad. Jeez, who let me do that? I'm getting a headache from all the welding in here. Anyways, this is what we ended up with. You can see that I added this little brace in the bottom here, and then I added a plate on the bottom here. I did that off camera, so you guys didn't have to watch me weld for about 79,000 hours. I'll probably end up painting this black, but it was free. It's a little bit on the heavy side, but hopefully it doesn't break. But like I said, more importantly, it was free. So this is what we're gonna use. So we're inside. I did finish that mount. It looks like shit. That's my own fault. One, I rushed it a bit. 2, I knew nobody was gonna see it underneath the car. 3, I used a little bit too big a bit of metal. I did bevel the edges a lot, which did help, but I kept popping the breaker, and then when I popped the breaker, the metal cooled down, and then it would puddle when I restarted the MIG welder, so it was kind of like clumps everywhere. That's my own fault. 2, I'm super stoked that just you guys watching the channel and taking the time to enjoy it, hit the subscribe button, like coming back to watch all my other videos has kind of paid off because you guys pretty much bought my Holley ECU for me just by putting up with the little bit of ads that I put in the video. So thank you guys so much for that. Another thing is I did make a list of what I wanted to accomplish in 2019. Getting 100,000 subscribers was right on the top of that list. Number 2, I wanted to compete in the CrossFit Open. I know that's a little off topic, but it's just personal to me because I went through like this huge weight loss thing and cardio thing. Like I've always been semi in shape. I usually fluctuate up and down. However, since I joined the CrossFit, I kind of just, I'm always pretty lean. And it just motivated me to want to keep going there, and it's a great environment to be. If you guys have never tried it, I know the hype about it is like, it really sucks, but give it a shot. You go in there, you put in your hours work, and it's just fun because you're always competing against other people. You're always around like-minded people. It just makes the goals so much easier, and that's for everything. If you just being a YouTuber myself, and then Virginia being into making videos and YouTubing as well on her channel, it motivates me more to make more videos because she supports me, and if you're around like-minded people, it just makes things so much easier. So that was number 2, is to compete in the CrossFit Open, which starts at the end of February. And then number 3 on my list, which is a big one, was work less, play more, travel more. So I want to work less at my main job and more on the YouTube stuff, because I don't think of this as work. I find this fun. I enjoy it. I love the feedback. I would literally upload a video and then sit in front of my phone for an hour just looking at the comments and replying to you guys and hearting you and having a good laugh. And it's a good time. I really enjoy it. I really want to thank all 41,800 of you guys that are subscribed to the channel right now. Thank you guys for sticking around. It really means a lot to me. 2019 is going to be a good year. We're going to have a bunch of cars running. We'll be at the track more. We'll be filming more. We'll be going to more events. I really would like to get to the States and meet up with a bunch of other big YouTubers, but we'll see how that goes. So I'm getting ready for my night shifts. There's my food right there. I have about an hour to get ready. So peace easy, get that V, and I love the MiG-26.